Hi, everyone. Let's talk about fear. So you probably know that if you want to grow and develop yourself and go to the next level, there will be fear that you will need to manage. In fact, in my line of business, which is personal growth, I discovered that really everything that you do, the business that you do, your career, relationships, everything, right? All of it is really the game of fear and how well you can play it. Do you let fear manage you, or are you actually able to manage the fear? Really, it's the game of fear. Like the business, especially the business, when you grow your business, you hire people, you work with clients, you promise, to deliver certain things, and it's your business. There is fear that's going to be kind of attached to it, right? And well, recently I did a webinar on taming your inner demons, right? And this was all about self-sabotage, and self-sabotage can be very much hidden. So it's also fear, but you would not call it fear. You might say, I'm very stressed, I feel overwhelmed, I feel the pressure, it needs to be done perfectly, I just want to make it right. There are different ways in which fear comes up and shows up, right? Sometimes it's through hyperachieving, controlling, people pleasing, maybe avoiding certain things, procrastinating. Functional procrastination, as I call it, is where you do a lot of things, you get very busy, but you don't focus on the right things, and therefore you don't really propel and progress in the right way. You are doing things, you are progressing, but it's not really towards what you want. So when you actually take a step back, you see that you've not really gone there, right? So all of that is fear, right? Whether it's hidden, whether it's blind, you're blind to it, or whether it's really visceral. Sometimes the fear, it's like it's in your whole body, right? You might have just said yes to something and it just will consume you. And many people don't really feel it, and they don't really understand what it is. They just feel bad, right? And they start being like, maybe they snap and they argue with people. There are different behaviors that can be triggered by that kind of fear, especially when we want to go through the upper limit. So if there is an upper limit that we are used to certain things and we want to go above it, we want to start making more money, or the business is making more money, and suddenly everything collapses, right? And the things shatter, and maybe your relationship is failing, or someone gets sick, so you just hit upper limit, right? In general terms, all of it is fear. You either are acting out of love, love, passion, inspiration, you feel inspired, or you act out of fear, whether you are aware of it or not. So today I really want to talk a little bit about the fear when you are aware of it, right? Like when you already know it's fear, how do you deal with it? So a friend of mine inspired me to do this recording, because when I shared that, he said, yeah, it's like you have to manage it between 49% and 51%. And as long as fear is only 49%, you're good, because the 51% is more, right? And I was like, well, this is not how it is, actually. And I explained my story that, when I am really enthused and I'm doing something that really came out from my heart and I take massive action to achieve it, what really happens first is the contrast, and the opposite happens. So let's say, I want to serve my clients in a specific way. I want to create a CEO retreat. I want to rent a space, invest. I feel on fire, right? I'm doing it. The first thing that may happen right after is my laptop breaks down and I have to repair it, and it costs money. Or a client deselects and tells me that they are going to do something else, or different things, right? Like it's almost like the opposite of this happens, right? I want to do something amazing. This will require investment. I need to put money down, and I am feeling like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Of course I want to do it. And then the first thing happens, like the opposite of it. I'm losing money. New bill appears. Maybe a tax comes in, right? This is contrast, and this is if you are more spiritual, it's really how your subconsciousness is acting, so that it attracts that to keep you small and keep you in the same place. Because usually what people do, they resign from whatever they wanted to do, right? The bigger the thing, the faster they resign. They go like, oh, it's not meant to be, you know, this thing just happened, I need to now fix that. So they immediately defocus, right, to the opposite, to fixing a problem. They forgot about what they really want, and it's gone, and usually, you know, it's gone. So so it's really important to know how to manage fear, recognize the contrast. But also, you know, about that 49-51%, what I told to this friend, I said, it's really not like that. Usually when you are you kind of crossed towards the fulfillment and the life that you lead in fulfillment and in service and in purpose. So for example, for me, you know, I left corporate. I spent 15 plus years I had great jobs and it was all great, but I didn't even know that I wasn't really that fulfilled. And only when I moved on to coaching and to live my passion and really tap into my zone of genius and really utilize my talents to give to the world that what I really desire and want, I became much more fulfilled, right? So what happens when you are in that state, when you actually love your life and you're really inspired and you're doing the things you want to do, you kind of sort of follow your dreams. You, in majority of times, you are like maybe 90% of like sage and love, and 10% is maybe fear popping in and out a little bit, right? That's what happens. That's why it's so amazing, right? Like we want to live in our purpose and we want to feel the fulfillment and the love. However, when you want to really grow and go further and further and stretch yourself, because by the way, that's what your soul wants, it wants to grow. So you stepping into something bigger, what happens after is this fear just knocks you out. And in that moment, the fear is at like 90%, 95, 99, you know, maybe you have a glimpse of like that inspiration, but most of it, you are overconsumed with fear. You feel it in the body. You are so scared that you don't know if you will survive, right? This is when really the fear can ruin it. And it's, again, it's imagined, it's an illusion. You know, you're telling yourself some things that are not even true. You know, that, I don't know, you may go bankrupt, or this will happen, or like the war, or, you know, it doesn't even, it's not even touching you right now. It's not true, but you are making this illusion, and the fear is very powerful. So that's why I was kind of laughing, and I wanted to create this video for you, that it's not 49% to 51%. It's not like that. When you live your purpose, you feel amazing most of the time. 90% is like you're in love, you feel fulfilled. Even 100%, you feel like totally aligned, you feel grateful, you feel extremely, you know, full from within. You feel like happy, you really feel that. And as you are more and more aware and you continue to grow, you will be challenging yourself, because you'll want more things. You'll want not more things, you want to become more. And therefore you will go for different challenges, and that those challenges, the bigger they are, the more fear they cause. And in, you know, in my experience, like let's say when I invested in Tony Robbins Platinum Partnership, it was $85,000 investment. And I mean, it made me sick for 3 days. And I was observing myself really like, you know, in this fear mode. And I gave myself compassion and love. But I mean, it was not pretty. And I'm not gonna fool you, right? Like the fear will get you in a way. And it takes the staying power, what I call staying power, to actually be with it, you know, observe it, because your human ego is like, I cannot handle it, right? Your saboteurs cannot handle it. They try to ruin this, destroy this vision and the dream, and just get you out of it, right? By forcing you out through your body. So this is what I mean by managing the fear. And if you resonate with this, right? If you need help with managing fear, please DM me, and I'd love to work with you on that, because there are really many ways of how to handle it, and the awareness of it is number one thing, right? So you absolutely will need support. I get plenty of support when I am in those situations. And I would also encourage you to get support for yourself, especially when you have big dreams, you want to create amazing legacy, and you are special. You are the one, you know, you are the one, and you are meant to do amazing things. If that's true for you, fear will want to grab you. So please get ahead of it, and let me know, contact me, and I'll be happy to support you. Thanks so much. Take care.